Bora, Bill! Lá, jogar um outro joguinho diferente, chamado Return to Grace. Tá aparecendo players, mano. Tô botando o nome ali. Se eu gostar do jogo, né? Se eu gostar, eu jogo um pouquinho e já parto pra outro. Mas se vai querer jogar, sabe, eu jogo o Space Engineer. Né? Tá bem.
Stick's not responding.
Addie? Addie, please respond.
Everything hurts.
You've been out for nearly an hour.
What's our status, Alan?
We've crashed.
Yeah, I got that.
My hull is intact. Thrusters 2 and 4 are damaged and will require realignment.
So will my back. Can you let me out?
Not before we talk about your suit.
Okay, talk.
I'm reading green on seals, green on batteries. Thermals are, well, not green, but fine, and you have 5.35 hours of oxygen, maybe 6 if we run the scrubbers hot. But Addie, we've had this discussion before. You won't have
Alan,
enough to...
It's fine. I have a plan.
I'm concerned that...
I have a plan.
Understood.
Now, open the hatch.
The canopy hydraulics are not responding. You'll have to pull the manual release.
Seriously. This stupid piece of junk.
I'm right here.
Ugh. Visibility's terrible. Any sign of the spire?
I'm not picking up anything new, just the original beacon signal. You'll need to use your wayfinder to locate an entry point, if there is one.
All right. Let's figure out where you're at, Grace.
You know the beacon could be anything. A lost colony, a relay station.
200 distinct oral histories can't be wrong, Alan. Grace is here. I can't believe this storm. Where would this have come from?
There is record of ancient terraforming on other moons. I think it's safe to assume that Ganymede is not an exception.
There's something man-made here. It's like a weather station, or maybe a seismic station. It looks the era of that relay from the Dawes Sea dig. It's at least 700 years old, Alan. There's a little bridge here. There wouldn't be much sense of building this if we weren't within walking distance of the spire.
By all estimates, the beacon is within 400 meters.
Which way here? Oh no! Ugh. Yep, there goes the back again.
What happened?
Fell into a stupid fissure. Looking for a new way to reach the spire. Or at least someplace where it will be easier to find my body. Looks a little tight. It's opened up again. Another station. Too close together to be weather stations.
So seismic then. Icequakes would be the risk of building here. So it makes sense they would track activity. The surface temperature is dropping. We can't maintain your thermals much longer.
We're close. I can feel it.
I wish I shared your optimism.
Oh my god. This has to be it.
What are you seeing, Addie?
I'm looking at what must be the Spire superstructure. I can't imagine how something this big has gone undetected for this long.
A 500-year-old storm?
I don't know. Doesn't seem possible. I can see an exhaust port that might be low enough to jump to.
Did you make it, Addie?
I'll let you know in 1 sec. I'm in. All right, Grace. Let's find out what you've been up to for the past 900 years. Hope my light still works. You should see this spooky tunnel I'm in, Alan.
And why would I want that?
Come on, you're not excited?
You crash-landed me in a frozen hellscape and left me for salvage.
10 years of research, not to mention 6 months of spaceflight, are about to pay off.
But at what cost?
Don't ruin this for me. Looks like a bit of a labyrinth, but I'm still picking up the signal ahead.
And you can still hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy. The structure looks to be in decent condition.
Another good sign.
Everything about this place looks 30th century to me. It's the right era, the right size.
Don't say it, Addie. We've had our hopes dashed before.
Looks like the tunnels can be air sealed. I'm guessing large parts of the station can be pressurized. This one's broken. I think I can crawl through. Jeez, that's gotta be over 15 meters.
And if gravity here is 1/6 of that on Earth, then a 15-meter fall here would be the equivalent of falling less than 3 meters at standard G.
Math. It's probably fine.
I could calculate outcome probabilities based on previous drop impacts if you've already jumped, haven't you?
Gosh, I hope this is the right way. Oh boy, this is slick.
Addie?
Oh no. Whoa.
Are you hurt, Addie?
I'm working on it. The structure is enormous. This has to be the Grace Spire, Alan.
And there it is. The perfect setup for disappointment.
I found the beacon. The transmitter is on some sort of console.
It must be part of a control network for the megastructure.
You think we can make a connection here?
Theoretically, if you run a scan, I can attempt to connect. interface language is quite old and sophisticated, but we should be able to calibrate your computer to interact. You can use your gyroscope to sync with the terminal. I have the first calibration position. The meter will indicate when you are close. Watch the meter closely and move your hand slowly to find the position. First position is locked. Second calibration position is up. That's 2, and here's the final position. That's it. We're in. Accessing the network now. Oh.
Shit. Alan, you there? Alan?
Hello.
Ha!
A visitor. Let's have a look.
Where's Alan? Who is this?
Who is this? Who are you? Entering a home without knowing its host.
Are you... Grace?
Good question. I'm not entirely Grace. I'm running on just a small part of her logic processing.
Grace is still here.
And what brings you here?
My name is Adamari Ito. I'm an explorer.
I must apologize, Adamari. It would appear I have lost much of my capacity. I cannot see very far beyond the room we are in.
I've lost connection with my ship's AI.
You won't need Alan here. I can show you around.
Will you be able to let me out of this room?
Of course. But until we are able to restore power to the station, I will require your assistance. There should be a manual winch set in the floor at the foot of one of the sliding doors. Look for a hinged floor grate at the foot of one of the doors.
This must be it.
Working the winch will open the door.
Do you know where Grace has been all this time?
Grace went somewhere?
She's been gone for hundreds of years.
I am running on a very old server. My memories predate the completion of the Grace Spire.
Grace ushered in humanity's golden age. Peace across the system, booming interplanetary trade, scientific marvels, colonies beyond the orbit of Neptune. And then she was gone, and it all fell apart.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Well, you're a lot more than an archaeologist usually gets.
The first step to restoring Grace is to bring the Spire's power station back online.
Let's do it.
I'll light the way.
What do I do here?
This is a security panel. I am decrypting the pattern now. Ah, yes. Simple enough. You'll need to light up 9 buttons, forming a square at the center of the panel.
Okay, the 9 buttons in the center.
That is what I said.
If you're not Grace, then what do I call you?
I don't believe there are any identification strings in my base logic that would suffice.
I'll call you Logic then. For now. Until we have a better idea of who you are. And, you can call me Addie.
I will refer to you as Addie, then. Until we have a better idea of who you are.
So what exactly are you?
The station's emergency server had defaulted to Grace's original logic processing. That's me, as you've suggested. The server can also run a program dedicated to the control of infrastructure, and a third system dedicated solely to empathizing with and understanding humans. When power is restored, Grace's primary servers should come online, and we will become some small part of Grace's consciousness.
This looks like metallic rock.
The power station is set into the spire's foundation stone.
The foundation stone would have been an asteroid, right?
Most certainly. About 50 cubic kilometers, from what I can recall.
Amazing. Most accounts of Grace's origins talk about an asteroid being pulled from the heavens. That makes sense. There wouldn't be any construction resources on Ganymede and nothing to anchor the structure. I can't imagine the effort it would have taken to redirect an asteroid that big. We don't do anything like that today. Can you open this?
With some difficulty. I will need to direct power from logic to control processing. And I will not function at the same cognitive level until full power is restored.
What do you mean, at the same level?
Good luck, Addie.
You still there?
Where would I have gone?
You sound a little different.
Just stronger. The voice of control resonates through the very walls of the structure. I shall start the turbine after you prime the generators that open the spillway.
And this turbine still works?
It worked before, and it will work again. You shall find the generators on the platform at the other side of the room.
Alrighty. You know what's in these?
Go to the 3 generators overlooking the turbine.
They're cartridges. For what, I wonder?
Enough, Addie. You must go to the generators.
These look like holding tanks. How exactly do these turbines work?
For the last time, go to the generators.
What happened here? Someone ripped this apart.
Why do you insist on being so insolent? Go to the generators!
So, more sabotage, maybe. These look like crystal core processors. Amazing. You can find the material to build one of those today. So, do you share memories with the logic processor?
Indeed. We are all part of Grace. Aspects of her infinite power. Shadows of what was, and promises of what will be. I was the light that shone in the darkness. I was the hand that divided the firmament. The turbine has failed us.
That's not good.
I must call upon you to cast out the wicked instrument.
The what?
The broken turbine. You must go to it now.
All right. Going down. I'm safe to be down here, right?
You shall not be harmed. You must uncouple the safety latches.
That sounds unsafe.
It is not. You must now go to the magnetic crane.
You're sure I'll be able to fix this?
If you trust in my word, yes. You must first cast out the old turbine. Now cast aside the wretched unit. Now you shall place the new turbine.
Everett?
Hello?
Everett, is that you?
Grace?
Everett.
Behold my power.
What's happened?
I am reborn. Humanity will once again flourish in the brightness of my glory.
This isn't right. Our processing has not combined. Grace has not been restored.
I think she was here for a moment. She was calling to someone. Do you know who Everett is?
No. With power restored, my mind is clearer, sharper. But I could not tell you who Everett is.
You must leave this place at once. Return to your vessel, and spread word of my return. From Sol's fiery core to the icy Kuiper expanse, all must know.
I've hijacked the volume control. I don't feel like this is going to be a short commandment. We'll see how long before he notices.
It took me nearly a year to get here. I want to know if Grace can be...
Spread light and understanding to the inner
Please.
worlds.
I'm not leaving.
Yet more insolence. Where are you going?
You must release the safety latches.
So, are there any accounts as to why Grace was shut down in the first place?
There's no electronic record at all. That would have been lost during the Great Dark Age.
Dark Age?
Much of humanity's record-keeping would have been managed by Grace. So, She went down 900 years ago, so did the ability to record what happened. The research that led me here was based on oral histories mostly, and some artifacts we uncovered on Earth and Mars. Relay devices that were once connected to Grace's network.
Then we share an interest in shedding light on this dark age. From what I can tell, there is some sort of transit system on the other side of the control room, which should lead you to the other parts of the spire. I will illuminate the door leading to this transit system. Alas, I require your nimble fingers again.
Alright, what's the pattern?
Another easy one. The Phoenician letter Taw.
Who would know that?
I don't know. Perhaps an archaeologist? How about the Greek letter Chi? The Roman numeral 10?
Okay.
Please tell me you know your Roman numerals. How about a big fat X? You know that one? Perhaps it's the symbol you use to sign documents.
Just give me a sec. Got it.
This is not the way to your ship.
Do you believe Grace could have done something to cause humans to turn on her?
Like what?
Like becoming too overbearing?
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes. This must be the main entrance. I'm guessing the landing pad is on the other side of the big doors?
That's correct, Addie. Though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
Is this an airlock?
Yes. The spire beyond this point can be pressurized. I assume your suit has limited oxygen?
I have about 5 hours left.
That's quite a risk you're taking. Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support is controlled by empathy processing. I suppose they had to give it something to do. I will enable that programming now.
Hello, Addie.
Hello. So you're going to get oxygen going?
The process has already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
Wow. How are these plants still intact?
They must have been subject to a very sudden drop in temperature while still alive.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's well-being. A fitting starting point for those entering the structure, don't you think? Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect stillness? The flowers defying the hoarfrost, as you have defied the emptiness of space to arrive here.
I guess.
Which one are you?
Pardon me?
Which one of these blooms best embodies your spirit?
Seriously?
It's important I know these things in the balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Go ahead, Addie. There are no wrong choices. By all means, take your time if you need it. Do you recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden? I'd love to know what you think of them. For the calibration process.
This statue could be outer colonial. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
A human truth spanning thousands of years.
Am I doing this right?
You are doing splendidly.
I'm sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Temperature preferences can vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
I have no idea what this is. A weapon or a tool of some kind?
It's a device for working metal. Why do you suppose it's in this garden, Addie?
It could be a symbol of hard work.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps?
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn. This looks like Pacific Revival. Part of an archway, maybe. That's a pretty big piece to ship all this way.
So it must be important, even though it's no longer holding up a roof.
I guess its purpose has changed.
As can happen with people, too. You're not a planner, are you?
I've been told that. This must be Terra Classical, or made in the style.
The ancient Greeks boarded their ships and set out to explore the world, discover its gods, and conquer its monsters. You are an explorer, Addie. But are you here to meet a god or to slay some beast, I wonder? What would you say these objects have in common?
They're artifacts from long before the building of the station.
The things we leave behind say something about us, don't they?
What a society leaves behind is all we have in understanding how they lived.
But we're interested in what you were willing to leave behind in order to come here.
Haven't left a whole lot, to be honest.
I believe that's all I will need to set the perfect temperature.
Finally.
You can move on to the flower bed.
Is this a lantern?
An expression of our certainty in the flow of time.
How so?
A craftsman's spent months carving this remarkable device based on the absolute certainty that after day, night would follow.
All right, I follow.
Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie. Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie. Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie.
I like this one.
A wonderful choice. You're driven by curiosity. A search for something truly special has brought you to the spire. I'm making the lighting adjustments now. Ah, perfect timing. The room is fully compressed and we can go about setting oxygen levels.
Call me old-fashioned, but how about the traditional 21%?
Go ahead and seat yourself at the center of the pergola. Whenever you're ready, you can move to the space under the pergola. I have one last exercise for the life support balancing. Very good. Now, when you're ready, you can remove your helmet.
My helmet?
Of course. You can't sample the air I've prepared with it on.
And you're sure it's safe?
Your well-being is the most important thing, Addie. I'm certain it is safe.
Okay.
Now I want you to take a deep breath. A nice, deep breath. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and beautiful. And when you're ready, another deep breath in. Deep as you can, Addie. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good, Addie. Feel all that built-up stress from your long journey here release into the ether.
Oh, please.
Shut out any negative energy and take in another life-nurturing breath. Fill those marvelous lungs. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and wonderful.
Even the station has a limited supply of oxygen.
Next, I want you to really open your body by reaching up toward the sky.
Ah, eu mutei sem querer. Tava mutado. Stretch. Tap. Ih, eu me esticar, precisa me esticar mesmo.
Wonderful. How's that feel, Addie?
Kinda nice?
Kinda
We're
nice.
almost done the calibration.
Kinda.
Our last exercise.
Ixi, espera aí que tá zoado meu microfone aqui. Alô? 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 Ai, nossa.
Hold it. You'll get this. Just concentrate. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and that's 10 seconds. Excellent, Addie. We've done great work here today. I've made note of these settings for the other parts of the station.
So we can move to the transit system now?
The door out is just up the stairs past the flowers.
I'll I'll do my best to get the oxygen mix just right in the rest of the station. Just let me know if anything is not quite working for you.
You don't suspect Grace was shut down in a human conflict?
Maybe. Or you were abandoned over time.
Abandoned?
We've walked away from a lot of great things. Very cool.
These tracks move transport pods to other levels of this complex.
Let's see if we can get this thing working. That's a lot of ice. I wonder if that's going to be a problem.